Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. Today is a very first career transition webinar, and my name is Angel. I'm with AF Career Marketing. I help mid to senior career professionals stand out in a competitive job market by building their professional brand, crafting compelling resumes, and helping them showcase what sets them apart. So that's a little bit about me and why we are here to talk about a topic that is very close to my heart. And bear with me, working with the tech here. Oh boy. There we go. Believe it or not, I had this already. But all right, we are ready to go. Sharing my screen. In some instances, technology has not made everything easier. Okay. So today we are here to talk about two topics that are very close to my heart as a professional branding strategist and with the work that I do with my clients. And out there in today's very challenging job market, if you're listening to this live stream, then I'm assuming you are either actively in the job market or you are preparing for the 2025 market. But we're here to discuss how to leverage skills and that professional brand to stand out in the market. And a little about me. Yes, my name is Angel, but I am a career coach and resume strategist, as well as that professional branding strategist. And I do not come to this cold. I actually come from a 20-year career across technology, business, and product. And in my own career story, I have successfully navigated a couple big career shifts. And this has all been in response to emerging roles, the emergence of Agile in the 90s, and in addition to taking advantage to emerging technologies that have come about. And this is the last 20 years of my life, but this is very much what the market today is looking like and how folks right now are making so many shifts. I would say the past 2-3 years, just from my observation and perspective, we have more folks crossing career boundaries and changing careers or shifting careers more than ever before. Whether you are moving into a new industry, whether you're moving into a new technology, going from one side of the organization to the other, or just shifting careers altogether. And going through these multiple career shifts, what I look back and now realize, or I have realized a long time ago, is my journey has been one of learning how to position myself and brand myself, brand how I was known in these new areas. So starting out in tech, positioning myself to appear qualified as a business person to be able to take on these roles, going from business into product, learning what I needed to, positioning my skills, gaining some experience to position my brand to market myself in these areas. So it's very applicable to the way that the markets have evolved today. And my perspective, or my view on all things, is that perspective is gold. I come from a heavy project management background as well. And perspective being gold is like going into a big project, having all of the facts up front, right? When you have all the facts, you can make a good plan. So perspective is gold, right? We're a month into a brand new year, and let's just talk about the current job market, right? We know last year and going into this year that the market is flooded with, not just flooded with applicants, but flooded with experienced applicants. With all the layoffs from last year, we have a lot of folks in the market that are not just trying to break into a new career, they are solid with experience in those careers and examples and accomplishments they can speak to. Recruiters right now, and have been, actually, I shouldn't say just not right now, in the 2024 job market as well, recruiters are in a position to where they are now cutting the applicant window, in some instances to 24 to 48 hours. They're getting way too many resumes that they could handle, and they have to draw the line. I feel for those in this industry right about now because they just don't have one job posting they're looking to fill. They have multiple, and getting 500 to 700 plus resumes is impossible for anybody's workload. And because of that, applicant tracking systems and LinkedIn algorithms, this type of technology is used more than ever before to help hiring managers and recruiters search through these 500 to 700 plus resumes they are receiving for every job. So if we understand kind of the current state of the market, using some business terms, I know, then we can kind of understand, at least from a resume or submission perspective, qualified applicants are just simply not getting noticed. Some of them are, and they're making it through. But when we do some troubleshooting or apply some troubleshooting to it, we realize that many qualified applicants, they're not getting noticed because perhaps they're applying too late. They're applying outside of that window, and the recruiter has had to draw the line. One area that folks are very much aware of is the last maybe 2 to 3 years, you see a lot more content in social media and from recruiters, career coaches, as far as applicant tracking systems. More people today are aware of them. But you still have resumes that are not being tailored to that particular job description and are not optimized. So even if they're making it through the applicant tracking system and getting stored in that company's system, that doesn't mean when the hiring manager goes to do a search, return all resumes with this in their job history, this degree, and this skill mentioned, that their resume is going to get picked up. Or those are two reasons why qualified applicants may not be getting noticed in the current market. The third reason, which we're here to talk about today, is perhaps they made it through applicant tracking systems, perhaps they applied in time. It could be that they were just one of 100 other applicants or resumes with the exact same experience, or not exact, but similar experience, education, work history, and they blended in with the crowd. They did not stand out. So I would propose that one of our 2025 problem statements from a job search perspective is, if there are hundreds of other applicants that look like you, how do you get noticed? And then secondly, how do you enhance or help your resume and LinkedIn profiles to stand out, to help you get noticed? My simple answer is to simply know thyself. When we're talking about optimization, and this is from working with every client that I work with, we can only optimize off of the value that we're able to pull from our discussions or that you're able to glean from your own background. Never leave your value off the table, because what you don't know can hurt you in today's job market. So knowing all about your hard skills, soft skills, transferable skills, and even at running by someone, because there are some things that others will see in your background and see in your skill sets that you don't see in yourself, that maybe you overlook. So I strongly suggest to know thyself. You need to glean, spend some time digging in, and then run it by someone who can help challenge and help you not leave that value off the table. And in addition to knowing about your skills, knowing your unique value add. And this is what helped me in some of my transitions. Not just knowing your skills, but for that industry or role you're targeting, but what's unique that you're taking into it. Remember my example, coming from a quality assurance testing background, and how I was able to spring into action when we had a production release that went awry and we had to jump into triage, and none of my peers understood how to do that or even what that meant. because of my background, that was a unique value add that I was able to pull out of my belt and spring into action. And then, so don't leave value off the table. Spend the time and really know yourself and know what you bring. Know your unique value add, your unique value proposition. If there are 100 other people applying for that one role, what is something unique about your background that many of them are not going to have? That's part of your value proposition. And then, of course, building. So starting to build and continuing to develop that professional brand. And all of this really is encompassed under knowing thyself, because you can't enhance your professional brand or how you present yourself out there in the world or for career opportunity if you don't know what value that and your unique value proposition that you need, that is the strategic piece to enhance and market, right? And that's exactly what we're here to talk about today. So in order to know thyself, we're going to talk about, or in the spirit of knowing thyself, identifying and allowing and aligning your skills to your target job. We're going to talk about identifying your unique value add, or those unique skills that you bring to the table. We're going to talk about understanding the role of your brand and how it can help you stand out. And then we're going to pull all that together with some tips that can help strengthen your resume and interview. Because when we're talking about your skills, your unique value add, and we're talking about your branding and how to present yourself, I hope you know this helps your entire job search process. This not only strengthens your resume, your LinkedIn, but you can carry this all the way to networking, interview prep, and even into negotiating salaries, because now you're coming into it armed with everything you need to know about yourself and your experience. And you'll have to forgive me because this is the stuff I geek out about. Coming, sci-fi person, so the tech, I love that stuff, love the details. So leveraging your hard, soft, and transferable skills. I don't know if you are aware, but hiring managers really take, and recruiters really take seconds to scan your resumes. And if they don't immediately see the right skills, they're going to move on. They have a pile of 500 plus resumes to get through, right? And when you highlight the right mix of your hard, soft, and transferable skills, you make it easy for employers to see that value. So when we're talking about leveraging your skill sets, or the activity I like to take folks through is building your skills inventory, you are armed with the ability to show employers you have exactly what they need. Because then you can take your skills inventory, or take your skills, compare it against the job description, which they tell you exactly what matters for them, do a little bit of research for the role, the industry, and you're ready to start tailoring your resume. Leveraging your skills also will help you differentiate yourself from other clients. So transferable skills are going to be your golden ticket here. And you can Google what transferable skills mean. You can Google and try to discover all the different type of skills that could possibly be that could be transferable. But in my experience, they're not always obvious. My definition of a transferable skill is any skill that you developed at one point in your career for one job or one project or one side gig or one volunteer area, one skill that you used somewhere else. So you started to kind of flex that muscle in one job, and you ended up using that same skill in the next job. That's transferable. So my loose definition of a transferable skill from my own experience has been any skill that you use in more than one job or more than one context, because you began to develop that muscle and then you flex that muscle at another point. In using that skill, you're still developing it. You're going from beginner to intermediate level when you use it again. And then the next time you use it, maybe now you're going from intermediate to advanced. So even if you use it a couple times, if you use it in more than one job, that's transferable. And these are the transferable skills that when you're competing for jobs without that direct experience, your soft skills, especially soft skills such as leadership and negotiation, those soft skills that are really valuable, being able to get folks on a common vision. A lot of those right now are speaking just as loud as your hard skills. And sometimes they can be difficult to pull from your experiences. But ensuring that hard and soft skills that are mentioned in these job descriptions are in your list and that you've identified what that unique value add is how they're going to serve you here. And they will help you not only compete for these jobs even without direct experience, but they will help you make a stronger impression in interviews as well. If you look to my picture here on the right, this is your career marketing puzzle from this context. Unique value adds. When you're going into interviews, if you already know the unique value adds you can bring to that role, you've already thought through some of your examples in your past where you've used those to solve problems. You've already thought through the hard and soft skills that are very applicable to this job that you're interviewing for. You've already thought through some of those stories and messages that you want to bring into it. So the outcome when you're leveraging your hard, soft, and transferable skills is you are a stronger, more competitive candidate, and your resume, LinkedIn, networking can help you get noticed faster with more confidence. So how can you articulate your full unique value if you don't fully know you? Again, know thyself. And this is not just a one slide go through of all the benefits of it. I'm leaving you with a framework too, to be able to take actionable steps even after this call. All right, so this is just a very simple framework. We're calling it the AIM framework. So assess, identify, and match. So if you're looking to strengthen your resume, your value proposition, to be able to take this upcoming week into your job market, here are some simple steps that you can do. And if you have a lengthy job market, focus on, maybe the last 2 to 3 roles and go through this exercise. So assess, understanding what you're bringing to the table. Go and pull the top 15 to 20 hard and soft skills from each of your previous roles. You can even take your job, if you have the original job description, you could even take that and put it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to pull that for you. Now, caution with ChatGPT, I've seen AI pull some really weird hard and soft skills from it that frankly are going to bear no weight in an interview. So take that with a grain of salt, but that's one tool you can use. But go through everything that you did, think through the challenges you faced, things that frustrated you, what you were recognized for, your accomplishments, the things that you were proud of. Think through what you were known for in that role. When people came and asked for your help, what did they ask for your help for? Think through these different examples, and I guarantee 15 to 20 hard and soft skills are going to come up. And just Google some lists of soft skills if you need some inspiration. Or again, use ChatGPT to help you with some ideas. But pull 15 to 20 hard and soft skills. Identify which are transferable skills, because again, if you used it in more than 2 jobs, it's transferable. If you've used it maybe in just your most recent job or your current, and the target job title that you're going for would be the second time because it's a required skill there, then I would argue that that's going to be transferable. Whether or not you used it twice, you're going to leverage it in your future role, right? So assess, identify, match. Identifying is then taking this list of skills that this inventory you've begun to build, and start comparing it against the job descriptions you're looking at. I even would suggest take it a step further and go look at other people on LinkedIn who are in one of your desired companies and roles, and just glance through their skills and recent work experience and see if they have any skills mentioned that seem to be unique to the role or industry. That's another way to identify if there's any skills missing from your list that you do have. And then, of course, once you have pulled everything from you, you know yourself, you have gone and looked at your target job, you've looked at the industry, you know what that requires. Now you're in a position to align your skills to these job postings, enhance your career, your resume, enhance your LinkedIn, not only to make it past ATS and possibly get picked up when they start querying for, hey, return resumes with this experience, but you're optimizing your LinkedIn and you're putting the right details in there that when a person picks up that resume, that piece of paper, it's actually including some of the details that they're actually looking for, your human readers. Now, whether or not your resume is formatted to help them quickly see some of this stuff is a different story, but half the battle is having the content. Then you can work with someone if need be to get a good optimized format in there that will make it visually easy to see as well. But half the battle is getting the content. As you're doing the match part of this framework, make sure to consider any of the accomplishments that from these top skills, because these are really good to consider for accomplishment bullets in your resume. We don't want to just include our roles and responsibilities. We want to include actual accomplishments, problems we solved. Yes, we love, resume writers, we love to make, to include numbers and show that value, but being able to tell the story, again, half the battle. And then of course, positioning yourself is, again, I've already mentioned LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, you want to go and add, as you identify these skills, once you go through this, go and make sure you've selected all the applicable skills, because that is searchable in LinkedIn Recruiter Search. And then go to your work experience section and just write out some of the stuff you did leveraging these skills, flexing these muscles. All searchable when a recruiter is in LinkedIn Recruiter Search and they're doing keyword searches on their end. Again, optimization. And then, of course, framing your top skills into career stories. This is where it extends into your interview prep. You know the top skills now, and you know yourself. You know which one of these skills, these muscles you have flexed. Think of, I like using CAR stories: challenge, action, results. Think of a challenge you faced where you leveraged that skill, the action you took, and the challenge it resolved. Not every CAR story needs to have and decreased operational expenses by 20%. Not every story has to have that big of an accomplishment. It can be soft skills. It could be building a team. It could be gaining alignment. It could be a presentation. So challenge, action, and the result. What was the outcome of the action you took for that challenge? And that is a perfect way, once you know these top skills, perfect area to think through to start preparing some stories to take into that interview, because you've already looked at the job description and you know they matter. So a simple framework to be able to dig in, find the skills you may be missing in all of your optimization and preparation to strengthen not only your job search materials, but to strengthen your job search period. Okay. And the second area I promised that we would touch, professional branding, to stand out and get noticed. So we can talk about, or we can look at all the skills and all the research we've done, comparing it with job descriptions up to this point. Again, I'm a project manager by trade, right? We can look at that of all of our ramp up. We can look at that as doing all of the research to kick off our project. Preparing our professional brand to stand out and get noticed is the execution. It's that secret sauce. And when I'm talking about your professional brand, I am, full transparency, referring to your personal brand. I've noticed when I talk with a lot of professionals about a personal brand, especially when I'm talking with many tech folks, their eyes glaze over and they look at me like, I'm not marketing. No, that has nothing to do with me. Or no, I'm fine. I don't need that. So one of my favorite quotes, I have it printed out here because I wanted to use this, and I've used this in some of my content. One of my favorite quotes is that you are the CEO of You Incorporated, You Inc. And as CEO of You Inc., your career, your life, your skills development. I'm the CEO of my career. My business is me. My business is my career. As CEOs of You and Me Inc., we are responsible for marketing our business. So for your career advancement, you're responsible for marketing your expertise to get out there and get noticed. Maybe this step was not required 5 years ago, but we're in today's job market. And what so many people are realizing is that what was the past is gone, and what is. This is our job market, for better, for worse. And we are the CEOs that have to get out there and market our expertise and help us get known to bring in business for our You Inc., Me Inc. And our business is finding customers or companies that will hire us and pay us for our service, for the expertise we bring in solving problems. So if you think that your personal brand or professional brand does not apply, it very much does, and you will discover that very quickly in the current job market. And really, your professional brand is just your personal brand, but just leveraged from that career advancement perspective, okay? So with that out of the way, differentiate. A personal brand that helps you stand out and get noticed is how you can differentiate yourself from the competition. So here we're going to highlight, because you've done all this work up to this point, we're going to highlight unique strengths, expertise, and value. Because even though that resume may show the 100 people that have similar experiences, sure, they all have a bachelor degree, some may have a master's, but they all maybe have different focuses, different specialties within that area, different passions that they are just have more experience in and they're more passionate about. You can leverage all of this in your brand to tell a story. And that's the fun part. So a professional brand will differentiate you from the competition because it will highlight what's unique about you in your story. And your resume may look similar to 100 others, but your story will not be. And it will increase the visibility to hiring managers and recruiters because now you're talking in their language. Now you are ensuring that your resume, even extending to LinkedIn, how you talk in networking, you're actually mentioning the skills and the value that they're looking and hoping to hear for because they desperately need help, right? So now you are putting it in terms that you're not just one of 100 other people talking about needing open for work. Now you're talking about real tangible value that makes them want to know more. It's like if you're a sports buff and let's say you have a favorite team, if you hear someone mention your favorite team, your ears perk, right? Whatever it is, hobby or something you're passionate about, when you hear it, your ears perk. Once you start talking in terms of value, this increases visibility for hiring managers and recruiters because now you're giving them what they're looking to hear. You get me. Which makes you more discoverable for opportunities. So just please recognize this professional brand is for everyone. There are folks like me who can help you with that. There's a lot of research you can do online if you want to take a stab at it for yourself. But this is how you differentiate yourself. This may be what's missing in your secret sauce, right? Your sauce may not be so secret. It may just be it just may be the same recipe we're all using online. But if you want to make it secret, add some professional branding or personal branding in the mix, and you will see some spice get added there. And did you know that a consistent and well-articulated brand positions you as a credible and desirable candidate? So because you know your skills and area of expertise, because you're showcasing it not only in your resume, you have accomplishment statements that are telling the story. You have it detailed in your LinkedIn profile. You have some of those accomplishments in bragging rights on your LinkedIn page. You know to talk about it when you're networking because those are your heavy hitter examples that you know resonate with the industry you're looking to go into. The more that you're doing this and building that credibility, you are building a know, like, and trust with everyone that you're coming into contact with. And especially when you send in your resume and that recruiter checks out your LinkedIn profile. They're checking you out because they're interested. They want to know more. And if your LinkedIn profile is further, not just a repeat of your resume, but including some extra stories on challenges you faced, how you overcame them in different jobs, different accomplishments, and you have really optimized your LinkedIn to be like your public facing website for your business, you have showcased your expertise, your thought leadership. You've not just said it, but you've backed it up. And it makes it easier for hiring managers to see your value, which is all, and it tells a story. So this professional branding is also something that travels throughout your job search effort, which again is one of the cool parts. And I did not have a four-part framework, but hey, 4 steps to building your strong brand. I wanted to leave you something that you could take and try to work on yourself. Here are some 4 steps to build a strong brand. You already have a brand, just so you know, before you even start any of this. Your brand is how you are known in your job, in your career. It's your current reputation, how people see you. So that's your starting point. So if you want to strengthen it and make it work for you, here are your 4 steps. So go back and look at your unique value proposition, which the previous slides will help you with. Create a one-liner that summarizes your expertise and impact. You can Google this. There's a lot of examples online. Reach out to me if you need support. And then take that brand, practice it, and then align it across your platforms and materials, which is everywhere that you show up. Even if you're not actively in LinkedIn every day, if a hiring manager checks you out on LinkedIn, you've shown up. So be present. Make sure it is optimized to have that strong message across everything. And then how to get noticed, not just having a LinkedIn profile, but show your expertise and engage with that network. So aligning skills to job postings, getting active in your LinkedIn, aligning your skills even within LinkedIn as you're networking and showing interest and offering support of others. All of this helps build and develop that brand. And then, of course, once you've done this, presenting yourself, I guarantee you cannot go through these steps without having a little bit more confidence. Practice how you present your brand. Practice that one-liner as an elevator pitch when you are going to an interview or you are in a networking situation. But aligning your skills and incorporating that to build a brand is going to not only increase the optimization, help you get past some of these, the technology, the bots that are in the mix, but it will help you communicate your brand with confidence. And that is that we all know confidence going into an interview is half the battle. Okay. And because my perspective is that these key things we're talking about, your branding, your knowing thyself, it is so critical across your job search. I bring it all the way to a few tips on how to leverage these to strengthen your interviews. This is getting into interview coaching a little bit, but I like to put it all together, connect the dots. That's where my interest lies. So let's take it to how can some of this help strengthen your interview prep? When your brand is strong, or when you strengthen your brand, and now being better armed with the skills and the value you bring to the table and not overlooking anything and leaving anything off the table, you should now be able to know what to emphasize. So aligning your skills to the job. When you review that job description, go through and highlight all hard, soft, and transferable skills that match your experience. Look at the top 3 to 5 skills that best showcase your value and prepare a story for each of those key skills and practice it before the interview. Go ready. You know the job description. You can look up the organization. You can see what their culture is, what matters to them. There's a lot that you can learn to understand, which are probably your heavy hitter stories based on your top skills that you can bring. And the job description, again, that's your source of truth. That tells you that they will tell you what they're looking for. It also helps with what you show. You're not just going to say, you're going to back it up by showing with these examples. So preparing those career stories using the CAR method that I mentioned. Again, challenge, action, result. So once you've highlighted those top skills from the job description, that's what JD is standing for, prepare those stories. And that's actually one in the first and second bullet are kind of about the same, but that was a continuation. When you have these and you've prepared your stories in advance, you've practiced them, you have unique stories, not only are you able to speak to the skills and everything you've been doing, but you have it in your pocket, these stories of your unique value proposition you can pull out at any point, which will help strengthen your interviews. You will be more confident walking into those interviews. So I hope that this is helpful. And if this was helpful, just wanted to share a couple ways to connect with me. I do have a LinkedIn business page where I share weekly insight and tips. So there is a QR code if you'd like to connect as well, or connect there. And if this is something that you're struggling with, like Angel, I hate having to consider my own skills. I did it before. I maybe have only 20, 30 things. I don't know what else I can do. There's a QR code if you'd like to schedule a free strategy call, and we can chat about your goals and your current strategies and see if there's ways that we can work together. And if you are preparing for a job search or you are currently in your job search, if you have ever considered joining a mastermind, there are many Facebook groups out there, LinkedIn groups. I have been in masterminds. I love masterminds. That is where you get a group of people together and they are sharing ideas, they are sharing knowledge, and they're supporting each other. So I actually have a mastermind that is kicking off this month. I am going to have clients that have worked with me on preparing their career marketing solutions. They get access to this mastermind included in their package. So I'm going to have other folks in this mastermind, but anyone that we're meeting for the first time, anyone can consider joining this mastermind. Angel, I have my own materials. I'm good to go, but I'm really struggling with tailoring my resume. I'm struggling with all these different areas. We will have bi-weekly coaching topics, which I will be pulling directly from the group on what areas they need support on. And then bi-weekly, it will be part coaching and part hot seat time. So Q&A sessions to help support the process. Weekly support through a LinkedIn group, a private chat, and of course, weekly accountability, because this is not a road. The current job market is not a road to walk alone. So this is an opportunity to share our knowledge. I'm happy to bring all the knowledge and experience that I've pulled just from my different experiences. And I am here to simply cheer you on. That is what I'm here for. And I'm actually going to switch and see if we have any questions in the chat. Okay, wonderful. All right, well, apologies. I talk with my hands a lot, and now that I see my screen was here on the bottom, you got to see you were 40 minutes of me talking with my hands. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope I didn't geek out too much. Again, I'm an analytical person, so I love pulling out the data, connecting the dots, but then the product person in me and the user experience person in me loves to craft visual and compelling materials that attract. So it has to be purposeful and it has to speak to your audience. So I hope I didn't overly geek out into any of these areas. Have a great evening, and until next time.